Awesome. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to today's press conference for July 14th. Starting us off, we have assistant coach Bryce Aguilar. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand. We're going to go in the order that they're received. If you wouldn't mind, please introducing yourself. I'm going to say your name when you're called upon, but if you also wouldn't mind saying your outlet name when talking to talking to Bryce and the other players. So first, we're going to go with Darren Paul from Focus Hoops.
Hi, Bryce. Appreciate you taking the time. Darren Paul from Focus Hoops. In terms of your own coaching development from a personal standpoint, what are you looking to get out of this season, and how is working in this bubble, very close-knit, how is that going to help you progress as a coach?
I think every year you kind of pick new things up and learn from other teams in the off season. Like I watch a ton of the NBA games. And you change with your team as well, because each team is different and you got to focus on different things on how you want to play offensively in that way. So I think this year with our length and our ability to stretch the floor, I think we're going to play a little bit differently than we did last year when we had to slow it down and kind of play through a lot with Enrique.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren. Okay. Any other questions for assistant coach Bryce Aguilar? Oh, here we go. All right. We're going to go to Angel with the Dallas Morning News. Ooh.
What were your expectations for Ty Harris going into this? Is like a three-parter. So the first one is, what are your expectations of her? What kind of minutes do you see her playing, given the amount of veteran leadership at her position? And what does she bring to the table?
Well, Ty is an elite point guard. When she was in the draft, we had her up there as one of the best passers in the draft. And I think that will translate over into our league. Now, you can't put a premium on people that can pass the ball. And she can create for other people. I see her, I mean, obviously she's got a long way to go, but she's kind of similar to like a Sue Bird, where she can be a floor general and create for other people, but also score as well. So I think the sky's the limit for Ty.
Okay, we're going to go to Dorothy Gentry with The Athletic.
Hi, how are you doing, Brian?
Hi, Dorothy.
Good to see you. How do you, as the assistant coach, actually work with each of the players, and who are you working with specifically for this season?
I'm working with everybody. I thought last year I did a lot with the post, but I still worked with the guards. I think if you identify something that someone needs to work on, you kind of just help them out and try to help them through it. I mean, I don't think there's anyone specific that I'm working with. I think Crystal does a good job working with everybody. I do a good job working with everybody. So there's no one really specific.
Thank you, Dorothy. Okay, we're going to go to Cody Davis with Houston Sports Press.
Hey, Coach. What's been your overall thoughts on the rookie class through the first couple of days of training camp?
I've been very impressed. I think today was our best day of practice so far. I think every day, Ty, Bella, Satu, they get better, and it starts to slow down for them. I think the first day, it kind of was going fast, and it was a physical practice. But I think as time goes on, they're starting to understand if they can space and take their opportunities when they get them. Today they all three of them actually had a really good practice.
Okay, we're going to go to Drew Ivory with the next hoop.
Hey, Bryce, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. What has your dad taught you, and most importantly, when it comes to being a coach, like what specifically has stuck in your mind?
Oh, I don't know if there's anything off the top of my head. I mean, he coached me since I was a little kid all the way through like high school. So there's been so many things. I don't know if I have anything off the top of my head, but it's just like, even from like a defense perspective and offensive perspective, looking at the game certain ways. I mean, I would say a lot of my coaching mindset comes from him. But I've also been other places. I haven't only coached under him. So I've picked up things where I've come from other places, but a lot of it's from him because, I mean, been hearing some of that stuff since I was like in elementary school.
Okay, awesome. Bryce, thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, Sterling.
Okay, up next, we have Isabel Harrison.
Okay, I'll grab her.
Thanks, Bryce.
We're excited that people bring us some guard play that we like.
As he's on our way, I'm going to wipe down the chair really quickly.
Thank you, Seth.
Yep.
I'm not sure if everybody saw it, but Izzy was launched an initiative, the I Am It initiative. What's up, Izzy? Which is a T-shirt that we're selling, and all the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter. Okay, Izzy, we're gonna go to Dorothy Gentry with The Athletic for our first question.
Yay.
Hey, Izzy.
Hey, Dorothy, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. Last year you were Comeback Player of the Year. How has that fueled you for this season? And do you have any personal goals you plan to try to achieve? And just how will you approach this season as a whole?
Honestly, when I got AP Comeback Player of the Year, I thought it was a joke. I'm not gonna lie. And I got notifications on Twitter and whatnot. But to just get that award through our season last year with a lot of injuries, it was a lot, and it made me very happy for my potential in the future. And this year, my personal goal is just to stretch my game out offensively. We already have our whole post group being ready to shoot knockdown threes. So, the offense, that's just going to be unlimited. So just stretching out my game, and again, just being a leader for the post group.
Okay, next we're gonna go to Paul Jones with NBC.
Okay. Hey, Isabel, how are you?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Great. Good to see you. Hey, tell me a little bit more about this initiative that Sterling mentioned right before you began.
Yeah, so I made some shirts and they're the hashtag I am with an open dash next to it. And I wanted to be able to make a shirt that people can actually interact with the hashtag and making it personal to their experience with life. So tying in their experience with any social injustice issues, whether they experienced it or just saw someone go through it, I wanted to make a shirt that we all can just come together on and just look at each other's experience to see how much we are really alike.
Okay, we're now going to go to Darren Paul with Focus Hoops.
Hi, Isabel. Appreciate you taking the time. Given your career in Europe and in South Korea, how do you think that's setting you up for the unique environment of the bubble? And the second question, what did you work on over the break in terms of areas of your game to improve?
For my overseas experience tying into the bubble, this is very much overseas. I don't really leave the apartment that much anyways, so I'm kind of used to this bubble life. So when it came to the packing and all that, I'm pretty prepared for it. And what I worked on this season was absolutely being a scorer. In Italy, I was the top scorer, and I really helped change that team. So I'm just bringing that that offensive presence this year for the post group.
Okay, and I accidentally cut Paul off. We're going to go back to Paul for another follow-up question.
There we go. Okay, thank you. The one follow-up I was going to ask you, Isabel, is the Dallas Mavericks, they're doing something neat. At the end of every practice, head coach Rick Carlisle is reading a passage from something that's happened throughout history that's involved social injustice. And it's his way of bringing to light the travesties that have happened over the many years of civilization. Obviously many of them still pretty current. When you see something like that, in addition to what you've done, how heartwarming is it to know that people are rallying around this cause, not just Black people, it's white people. It's a big rallying cry for many people in society.
To be honest, it just makes me remain hopeful about everything. You know, I know a lot of Black people during this time were feeling like they weren't having allies and a lot of people. So to see the head coach for the Mavs step up and do that for interviews, because people are going to want to know what's going in here anyways. So he's doing his job inside the bubble, keeping the attention on Black Lives Matter and all the social justices that are going on right now. And again, that's what I want to do with inside the bubble as well, making sure we keep that attention on where it needs to be, along with basketball. So I'm proud of the Mavs that they do it, and I hope they're proud of us for the role we're playing as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, we are going to go to Alana Bearfield with Texas Metro News.
Hi, this is Alana Bearfield with Texas Metro News. I was just wondering, why is this such a critical moment to have your initiative, I Am, especially with the recent death of George Floyd, and just to see how hashtags are trending on social media?
Well, my idea for the shirt was a hashtag to make sure it just spreads as far as it can. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to personalize it so people are able to join in and have their own story to tell. Obviously, George Floyd wasn't the first person that this has happened to, but I will say this is probably the most seen in-day activity that we saw with police brutality. And I hate it had to happen like this, but I just don't want him to go down in vain and any other person going through this issue. So that was, again, my initiative to step forward and bring us all together as a team and a staff.
Okay, we're going to go to Shy Brown with Dime Magazine.
Hi, Isabel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How have you adjusted to life during the pandemic?
You said during the pandemic?
Yes. How have you adjusted to life?
At first it was pretty tough, but I had a little experience coming from Italy. I was kind of rushed out of there. We were the highest country that had cases outside of Asia. So I kind of had an idea of what to do before it really hit the States. During the pandemic, honestly, quarantine was like big chilling for me. I was cooking, I was doing things I never had time for, on top of, you know, just doing my workouts. But again, I'm a homebody, so I haven't had much issue with that. But the biggest thing for me was probably the family part. I wasn't able to see my nieces and my sister for 2 weeks. They live in Dallas, and my mom and dad live in Nashville, so I wasn't able to see them because it could have been a high-risk situation. So the family thing was the biggest part for me, but I've been able to take that time and do things that I really wanted to do.
Okay, we're going to go to Drew Ivory with the next hoops for our last question.
Great to see you, Izzy.
You too, Drew.
How have you prepared yourself over this offseason? You know, your team's quite young coming into this year. How have you prepared yourself to be a leader to such a young team?
To be honest, doing what I've been doing. I've always played on young teams, and I've always been one of the youngest, but now it's crazy to see that I'm a vet now, only at 26. That doesn't really happen now. But to prepare myself, I started overseas. It can't start when you get into the bubble or even when we were doing stuff away from this. I had this mindset going into overseas that I wanted to have this presence with this team coming into the season. So it was really a mindset for me, and just being happy about the pieces that we already had on top of adding to. I'm really excited for the rookies. They're great, you guys. Like, I can't wait for everybody to see us. And I just think we're a really energetic young group. So people got to be ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Izzy.
Thanks, Daryl.
Good to see you. And if anybody wants more information about the I Am campaign, they can email me or check out Izzy's social media. We can send you more information.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Izzy. Okay, up next we have Astou Ndour.
On the ride to practice in LA is an hour for me, so that's sitting on my back and putting pressure on that. Everything is here. We're able to kind of have a tunnel vision of focus. So I think those are two things that our team has struggled with in the past, and it's kind of forced on us now.
Yep. So you're going to be speaking to the screen up here.
Astou, it's nice to finally meet you.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we have Astou Ndour. Astou, I hope I said your last name correctly.
Right. Yep.
We are going to go to, again, if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. But we're going to go to Darren Paul with Focus Hoops for our first question.
Hi, Astou. Thank you for taking the time. Darren Paul from Focus Hoops. Your international resume speaks for itself. How does that experience playing so many competitions for Spain, how does that set you up for life in the bubble?
I mean, it's been a while I'm doing this. First of all, I like to play basketball. Also, this kind of stuff helping me a lot to getting better every day and find myself on the court and off the court. And I like to be here every summer.
Okay, we're going to go to Drew Ivory with the next hoops next.
Hey, Astou, it's good to meet you. What do you want to bring to this team in terms of veteran leadership? Like, what is your mindset going into this season?
So I mean, we like been here like for 4 years in the row. I can bring them like my little bit of experience I had, helping them the team or going rebound, like running my fast break like I did every year. And I think we're gonna have fun this year. We are young and we are getting better every day. So we're learning to know each other, and I like this connection with my teammate.
Awesome, thank you, Drew. Okay, we're gonna go back to Darren Paul with Focus Hoops.
Thank you. What has Coach Aguilar asked of you in terms of leadership and your role?
Like to be like with the team, first of all, like communication and read, like helping each other. And I think I'm gonna try to do my best. I don't wanna discover him because he need me. This is why he bring me here. So I'm gonna try to do my best and showing my basketball player like I did like every year.
Okay, we're going to go to Dorothy Gentry with our next question.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you doing? Good to see you. How do you plan to use your platform to help further social justice initiatives with everything that's been going on this summer with the protests and the Black Lives Matter rallies? How do you plan to personally use your platform?
So like a leader, I'm using my voice to help them to fight this social distance, and I'm gonna do like whatever they need, because we are not gonna like be in silence. So like a basketball player, a model, we need to use our platform to fight, like getting better every day, every single day, to show them we can do it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Astou.
You're welcome.
Okay, up next we have Tyasha Harris.
Well, hold off.
Give you perspective on what you think the footprint is in different ways, but in a
Wow. Interesting setup. So you'll sit right here and you'll be answering questions, look at the screen up there.
The screen, the cam up there?
Yep.
Okay.
What's up, Ty?
Hey.
If you just want to look when you're answering the questions, if you just want to look up, right there. Perfect.
Right.
So that you're looking directly at the, it looks like you're looking directly at them. Okay, everybody, we have Ty Harris here. Again, if you would like to ask a question, raise your hand, and then I'll call on you in the order that it's received. So first, we're going to go to Dorothy Gentry with The Athletic.
Hi, Ty.
Hey.
How are you? What of your college game you think will translate over to the WNBA?
I think the IQ, the basketball IQ, and just the way I control pace. Learning from Dawn helped me a lot because she was a great point guard, and she's around vets all the time, pro players, and I think just the IQ of the game and just the pace of how I play.
We're going to go to Brandon Davis with Winsider next.
Hey, Ty, how are you?
I'm good.
All right. So it's your rookie year, and of course, you have a very familiar face in Alicia Gray as your teammate. So what has that been like, I guess, having somewhat of a veteran who you know personally that can help guide you through this rookie transition?
It's been amazing. I mean, from jump, Leisha's been in my ear. She texted me when I got drafted and before I got drafted. Like, anytime I have a question, I always text her first, like, what loop do we wear, or when are you leaving to get on the bus and stuff like that. So she's been a great help for me.
Now we're going to go to Justin Carter.
Hi, Justin Carter with Winsider. You were one of the best point guards in college basketball last year. Coming into this season, are you prepared to mainly play that kind of ball handling point guard role, or are you expecting to kind of see time at multiple positions?
I think Coach likes us to be versatile. So he has me playing the 2 when I'm with Mo. It's kind of just like 1-2 punch thing. Like, whoever gets the ball, we just go. And I kind of like that. Just like, it's not just mainly you. We on train tracks. You play this position and whatnot. But whoever gets the ball, we push it and go, and just kind of work out it from there.
Okay, we're going to go to Drew Ivory with the next hoops.
Hey, Ty, good to meet you.
Hey.
Do you feel a sense of comfortability early on since you get to play with your former national championship teammate, Alicia Gray, and how has that chemistry been in practice?
It's been big. I mean, I think we all get along really well since we're so young, and we know that. We're going to try to use that to our advantage. With Leash, I mean, like I said, she just kind of helps me outside the basketball and on the court. Like, when I mess up or anything, she'll be like, you're okay, Ty, just keep going. Or, like, she'll tell me what Brian likes and what people do in their habits. So it is comfortable just to have her there so she can help string me along.
Next, we're going to go to Alana Bearfield with Texas Metro News.
Hi, Ty. Was there a significant item or particular item that you brought from home inside the bubble that just, when you look at it, you just light up and you're happy?
No, I didn't bring any significant items. I mean, I wear this necklace all the time. Like, I don't take it off. Well, in college, I had to take it off like when we practice, but Brian lets us wear jewelry, so I keep this on 24/7.
Okay, we're going to go to Darren Paul with Focus Hoops.
Hi, Ty. Appreciate you taking the time. What are you looking to learn from Coach Aguilar over the season, and what have you already learned in the first few days of training?
I'm looking forward just to get his knowledge, just be an extension of him on the court. I learned that he doesn't mess around. We get to it every practice, scrimmaging, live ball, all that. I mean, he wants to teach us a lot. He likes to talk a lot too, so he likes to like plan out stuff and tell us what to do. I like that about him, that he's not going too fast. He's just blowing over everything, but he'll tell us and then he'll be like, get to it. So I like that about him, and he lets us play.
Did you have one more, Darren?
Sorry, yeah, I did. Thank you. 2 questions really. Firstly, what does success look like for you in 2020 from a personal and team point of view? And secondly, do you have any aspirations to go and play in Europe or overseas?
For the second question, I actually had signed to a team in Turkey, so I'll be playing over there if they have a league. First question, success to me, hopefully I could be a Rookie of the Year player. I just want our team just to gel, mold together, and kind of just see what we could do. I mean, obviously everybody's dream is to be in the playoff and win the championship, so that too, but I kind of just want to see us grow and go every day.
We are going to go to Paul Jones with NBC.
Hi, Ty. Great to meet you, even if it is virtually. I was looking down your list of great awards and where you were a finalist as well, and it mentioned the Lieberman Award. I was just curious, when you were a finalist for that, did you have an opportunity to meet Nancy? And the follow-up would be, even if you didn't, the fact that she's Dallas-based, is that kind of exciting that potentially you would have a chance to maybe pick her brain a little bit in the days to come at some point?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I really didn't get to meet her. I didn't even know she was Dallas-based or at all or anything like that. I haven't watched basketball when I was younger. I kind of just started watching basketball when I got into college and now here. So no, I didn't get to meet her, and I didn't know she was in Dallas-based, but I would love to meet her.
Ty, is the Rookie of the Year award on your mind at all?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And is it a goal of yours to get the Rookie of the Year award? And if you don't, does it matter at all to you whether or not you get it?
It is my goal, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. There's other things that I can get. I hope all rookies are looking for this award, especially on my team, get the Rookie of the Year, because if not, then we're not competing and trying to be our best self. So I hope they all wish to have Rookie of the Year and we compete with each other.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ty.
Thank you.
Nice work today.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, everybody. I will send this out, and it'll also be available shortly on the Content Network. If you don't have access to the Content Network, let me know. We'll get you in contact with Sam Tager. Thanks, everybody, again, and I'll send information about tomorrow's out a little later today. I hope everyone has a good one. And thank you, Seth, for being Mr. Clean today.
No problem. Thanks, Sterling.